What is the best way to learn? Through formal training or through experiences shared by peers? If you think about it, most of the practical skills we use daily weren't learned in classrooms, but from interactions with colleagues, mentors, or even online communities. This is the essence of community of practice or COPs, an informal group where people with shared interests exchange knowledge, solve problems, and grow together. Greetings everyone, we are Group 2 consist of Zion Arandia, Eliza Escalante, Megan Soria, Genevieve Vergara, and me, Rodora Alcantara. And today we will explore the origins and evolutions of communities of practice in organizations and beyond. To begin, what exactly are communities of practice or COPs? They are groups of people who come together to share knowledge and skills about a specific interest or profession. Unlike formal training, learning in COPs happens naturally through discussions, mentoring, and collaborations. These groups aren't just for fun, they help professionals refine their experience and expertise, solve problems, and spark innovation. A great example would be the cybersecurity analyst meeting informally to discuss emerging threats and best practices. Another example would be marketing professionals in a company who regularly meets to share successful customer engagement strategies. The idea of shared knowledge isn't something new in communities. In ancient Greece, merchants and traders formed guilds to protect their business interests and pass down trade knowledge. Later, medieval artisans create guilds that ensured apprentices learned the craft properly. These groups weren't just training, they set standards, protected their knowledge, and pushed industries forward. Their influence can still be seen in modern professional organizations and learning communities today. Fast forward to recent, communities of practice have transformed industries. Organizations such as World Bank uses them to connect experts across different countries, sharing insights on global development. Shell has learning networks where employees exchange best practices leading to innovation. And at Airbus, COPs help engineers and team collaborate on complex technical challenges. The said examples show how COPs aren't just seen in social groups, they are also strategic tools for knowledge management. Given such examples, there are of course key features that COPs hold. First, they are self-organizing, which means that members of the organization are the ones who get to decide what to discuss and not the management. Second, they are problem-solving hubs, where employees help each other to find solutions. And third, learning is continuous. It is not just a one-time session, but rather an ongoing expertise. Members continuously exchange knowledge, refine skills, and enhance their expertise through real-world experiences. And if these are the key features, how are COPs different from other workplace groups? Teams and work groups focus on completing specific tasks, often with formal structures. Informal networks are more about social connections. Meanwhile, COPs exist primarily for knowledge sharing. They don't have a set of deadlines or deliverables. Instead, they continuously evolve as members learn and contribute. For instance, a project team might be dissolved after completing a task, but COP of software engineers discussing best practices will continue indefinitely. To further understand the related concepts, let us now move on to Megan, who will discuss how COPs operate.
How do communities of practice or COPs emerge and sustain themselves? First, COPs may emerge through informal networks of people with shared passions. For instance, an individual looking to develop a new community might partner with others, such as a consultant or an expert interviewer, to gather stories from the community. These stories can help strengthen the members' enthusiasm for participation and identify problems that serve as a basis for solutions within the COP. Second, to sustain COPs, after identifying which ones can be formed to improve strategies within a company, there must be an infrastructure to support them. This means that these communities should receive financial and time-based support to reach their full potential. Since COPs often lack legitimacy due to their informal nature, official sponsors and support teams should be engaged to strengthen them, especially when faced with setbacks or challenges. Another way to sustain COPs would be third, there should be a promotion system to formally acknowledge the work done by COPs. This recognition does not have to be financial. It can take forms such as special business cards or early access to innovations. Such acknowledgments can motivate COP members by reinforcing their expertise. Finally, measuring value should take a non-traditional approach, such as listening to members' stories to fully grasp the community's complexity. This includes understanding both successes and challenges, as well as analyzing how activities function, what knowledge is being exchanged, and how performance is affected. For instance, American Management Systems, or AMS, takes a formal approach to processes, but due to globalization, leveraging knowledge across the company became an issue. To address this, thought leaders or nominated individuals from various business units were introduced. Through COPs, individuals with shared passions were brought together to solve problems and develop new ideas, leading to the effective spread of knowledge throughout the company's global operations. This approach positively contributed to the organization's goals. Additionally, by shifting to a non-traditional approach to measuring value, such as listening to the members' stories, it was reported that AMS saved 2 to 5 million and increased revenue by more than 13 million in 1 year. This demonstrates the effectiveness of COPs in improving organizational performance. The roles of leadership, participation, and knowledge exchange are crucial in creating an effective COP. First, leadership is essential in guiding the group's direction. While bringing together individuals with a shared passion is valuable, it may not be enough. Proper guidance and support are necessary. Leaders should be open to suggestions, oversee potential errors, and manage miscommunication, considering the diverse backgrounds of COP members. However, even with strong leadership and expert members, community participation is equally important. Without commitment from the community to engage in practices and strategies proposed by experts, COPs may struggle to reach their full potential, leading to slow or minimal progress. Lastly, the effectiveness of knowledge exchange within the group and the broader community is critical. By using efficient methods of sharing knowledge, combining tacit knowledge, such as personal experiences, with explicit information or structured processes and guidelines, COPs are more likely to develop innovative and effective practices.
Now we move on to the benefits of communities of practice. Our first identified benefit would be that they help drive strategy. The World Bank uses COPs to further enhance their strategic objectives by facilitating knowledge sharing among their members. This then allows professionals from different sectors to collaborate, share ideas, and utilize their expertise to inform policy decisions and overall improve the outcome for projects. Through promoting a culture of continuous learning and collaboration, organizations are able to align their strategies with evolving needs of stakeholders and the global community. Next identified benefits is that COPs help solve problems faster. An example where COPs are able to resolve problems faster can be seen at Buckman's Labs. COPs enable employees to collaborate on problem solving in real time. By bringing together individuals with different areas of expertise, these communities facilitate quicker identification of issues and the development of solutions. This environment encourages better communication and knowledge exchange, which reduces the time taken to address the problem at hand. For our next identified benefit, we have COPs spread better practices. A prime example for this comes from Chrysler's Tech Clubs. They serve as a platform for engineers and technical staff to share the best practices and lessons that were learned from their prior projects. Through this, it promotes the distribution of successful strategies across organizations. By spreading the best practices, Chrysler was able to enhance overall efficiency and effectiveness, leading to improved performance and innovation. Lastly, we have professional development. Organizations that perfectly embody this would be the IBM and AMS. Both these companies utilize COPs to support professional development and recognition among their employees. Their respective communities provide opportunities for their members to engage in continuous learning, share knowledge, and skill development. This focus on professional growth not only enhances individual capabilities, but also strengthens the organization's overall talent pool.
Now that we have identified the benefits of COPs, we shall now look into the drawbacks or challenges that come with them. As COPs are great avenues for knowledge sharing, it also comes with its own set of hurdles. Hence, we have found 4 drawbacks in the occurrence of COPs. A major issue with COPs is that their impact is not easily quantifiable. Unlike formal teams that set the tone with deliverables, COPs are mostly focused on knowledge sharing that doesn't immediately transfer into tangible results. This was evident with the American Management Systems or AMS example from the case wherein they struggled to pinpoint into exact data on how COPs were contributing to their success despite AMS's efforts to systematically collect success stories with COP, which in turn is good practice, such as using narratives from its employees. It showed that such an anecdotal approach by itself, instead of traditional metrics, is not as effective. Thus, this might translate into companies having a hard time to justify the use of COPs. Another drawback with COP is that it is difficult to sustain, especially since it is voluntary based and organizes by itself. Hence, sustaining people can be a risk in long-term visions for the organization. An example would be Shell. Shell used interviews to identify COPs and create enthusiasm, but long-term management was their biggest hurdle. In turn, Shell realized that identifying a COP was just surface level and that it was not enough, needing members to keep on working to be involved. As a solution, Shell interviewed its employees to see what are their current problems, to find solutions that would keep their people interested. But even then, retaining them for long periods of time was a challenge. The nature of COPs is about sharing knowledge, but for an intimate and informal group, COPs can have the tendency to be exclusive, which is a paradox to its nature. An example is AMS, wherein its COP nature became too constrained. In AMS, the employee had to be recognized as an expert by the manager, and even has to complete at least one knowledge development project per year to retain. Even if it meant that AMS was full of competent people, it was also noticeable how it felt too exclusive and elite instead of a space for knowledge for everyone. And the last drawback would be organizational resistance. Sometimes it comes from the managers or the higher-ups themselves to be conservative with the ideas from COPs. An example would be the Hill's Pet Nutrition, wherein the technicians from a COP brought up the idea of changing the conveyor belt system to pneumatic tubes to make the system more efficient. However, the managers were not persuaded with the idea, adding that the system is fine and would work should the people work efficiently. Thus, the technician COPs gathered evidence from other plants and a member with a background in plumbing to support their proposal. The management has approved the change and the COP was correct in reducing time and waste. COPs manifest innovation, yet an obstacle could be internal. However, with a few considerations through backup research can help soften and see from both ends.
For individuals, COPs help individuals develop skills and expertise by exchanging insights and experiences. They also boost confidence and motivation by creating a supportive environment. Plus, they expand professional networks, leading to better career opportunities. For organizations, companies benefit from COPs through better knowledge management, as shared expertise leads to smarter decision making. COPs also promote innovation, allowing members to create and test new ideas. Lastly, they enhance employee engagement, leading to higher job satisfaction and retention. For society, on a broader scale, COPs help address complex issues by bringing experts together. They promote lifelong learning, ensuring people to stay competitive in a fast-changing world. Finally, they strengthen communities by encouraging collaboration and shared knowledge. To conclude, COPs are powerful tools for learning, innovation, and collaboration. As our world becomes more interconnected, their role will only grow, helping individuals, organizations, and society tackle challenges and create a better future. And thank you for listening.